government can be, in the best place to prevent that conflict. There are early warning signs that the state government might not see or might not be aware of, that the local government can monitor. And there are also community dialogues that can be held at the local level that are targeted at intervention and making sure that conflicts are being prevented from escalating, and also establishing sustainable peace. And also, when it comes to conflict resolution, I think autonomous local governments may be in a better position to resolve conflict at the grassroots, by having the authority to mediate disputes and implement conflict resolution initiative. So I believe that the local government understand exactly what happens at the grassroots, and I believe they are in the best position to ensure that conflicts are being prevented and also resolved.
Yes, Janet, we have witnessed, like me, I have witnessed some conflicts in my locality that ought to have been controlled, but there were no such kind of capacity for the local government to respond. Do you understand? And so those conflicts went on and consumed the community people, consumed properties and lives. But now that the local government have the autonomy, at least they can put in preventive measures in place, carry out programs to educate people at the grassroots, and also build capacity to make sure that conflicts are being prevented and are being responded to when due. So conflict resolution activities can also take place where there are issues, where prevention phase, and there's need for mediation. Local government can be able to mediate that. And for us as an institution, we also have in our state chapters, we are having local government liaison officers. Why do we create local government liaison officers? Is to liaise with the local government officials to make sure that peace building activities are taking place at the grassroots level. Okay, so we are also going to see how, as possible as much as they can give us the opportunity to work in hand with them to see that peace is being restored in our various communities, and people are living and fulfilling their destinies in a peaceful way. So this autonomy, for me, this is what gratifies my heart the most, because I know that some of the conflict that we face in our local communities can be resolved at once, can be dealt with, and prevention measures will be put in place, because this local government understand their people, they understand their way of life, they understand their lifestyle, so they can put in programs and measures that will help to prevent, and also put in measures to mediate where necessary, to make sure that consensus is achieved. So it's a good thing that we are experiencing this in our time.
So, Ambassador Joshua, talking about conflict prevention and conflict resolution, you made mention of the fact that at the local level there are no capacity to control conflict. Now, saying that we are one people, regardless of the autonomy that has been given, the state, the federal, and the local government, they are just tiers of governments. They are meant to govern us as a people. Now, when it comes to capacity to actually handle conflict and prevent conflict, how can the federal government and including the state government, how can they support the local governments to ensure that conflicts are being addressed at the local level before they are meant to escalate? Because most conflicts that actually begin at the local level, and most times once these conflicts are not being handled effectively, they escalate into a crisis. So how do we ensure that the federal government and the state government collaborate with the local government to ensure that conflicts are being prevented at any point in time?
All right, Janet, thank you very much. When it comes to peace building and conflict prevention or conflict resolution, it's not a one-man affair, okay? It is a joint effort. So it's not just even the local government collaborating with the state and the federal government to resolve. It's also collaborating with non-profit organizations, NGOs, the civil society organizations, and the institution like ours, professional institution like ours, to make sure that conflicts are being resolved. And so conflict efforts are not just being handled single-handedly. multiple efforts must be put in place to make sure that conflicts are being resolved and prevented. It's not, peace is very delicate, okay? It's fragile. So it's something that is very, very fragile. So if we don't do anything much, yeah, to put in measures in place to make sure that if there are no several stakeholders involved, then it will be very, very difficult to maintain peace and to build peace. So every stakeholders must be involved. All the stakeholders must be involved. Individuals, groups, organizations, state government, federal government, local government, all of us must be involved to make sure that peace building activities are in place, conflict resolution mechanisms are in place to make sure that we resolve our differences at the grassroots level. So, and when we talk about federalism does not mean that one one party is up. We have what we call the exclusive list. When we have in our constitution, well, the exclusive list, I think I mentioned this yesterday, where the federal government is solely responsible for some certain things. And then we have the concurrent list, where the federal government and the state government involved. And then we have the residual list, where the state government and the local government function. So it's the state government, when the state government, when the federal, when the local government have, now that the local government have their own independence, does not mean that they are going to, be completely independent. There are still measures. There is one way or the other they will be controlled. Okay, there are some certain things at the residual list that the state government has to be involved. Okay, and so like the issue of chieftaincy titles, it's the state government affairs. Okay, so state government will still be making some of this appointment and all of that. So when it comes to conflict resolution, we have the local chiefs who are being appointed by the state government to still have some form of control. So in one way or the other, the state government will be involved, the local government will be involved, the federal government will be involved, the private institution will also be involved. So civil society will be involved. So everybody will be involved. So it's going to be a joint effort. And this autonomy does not, uh, you know, uh, separate the local government from this joint effort at all. It's still in place.
Interesting, Ambassador Joshua. So moving forward, we are looking at community participation. Autonomy can empower local communities to participate in the decision-making process and take ownership of peace-building initiative. The local government should have the freedom to engage with community members and involve them in governance. And this is what we have seen over the years. We have seen, low participation when it comes to participation. That's when it comes to governance at the local level. And I believe that this autonomy would actually encourage community participation. Since the local governments have been given full financial autonomy, there are some initiatives that can be, promoted at the local level, and the people will be, more excited to participate and be involved in issues concerning governance. What do you think about this, Ambassador?
One of the opportunities of this autonomy is that community participation will be promoted. Their political activities in governance. People can ask questions because the government is closer to them. Okay, they can ask questions, and if the particular government, local government administration did not function as it's supposed to function, the people have the right to change that government through the ballot system. So this will motivate even people at the grassroots to participate in political activities, in governance process, and so many other activities concerning them. So it's a good thing. It's a good thing. This autonomy it came at the right time because it's a kind of a source of empowerment to the people at the grassroots to also be functional and be visible in the administration that governs them. So it's a good thing.
So next we'll be looking at cultural sensitivity. Autonomous local governments are better positioned to understand and address specific cultural dynamics and the needs of their communities. The local government can promote inclusivity and cultural sensitivity, which are essential for sustainable peace building. We also see capacity building. We have spoken about capacity building. We can see that the local governments can provide opportunities for capacity building and skill development at the local level by empowering local officials with the authority to make decisions and manage resources. We also have innovation and experimentation. Autonomous local governments have the freedom to innovate and experiment with new approaches to peace building by encouraging local governments to pilot new initiatives and share best practices. And this will help foster a culture of innovation and learning that can benefit peace building efforts across the nation. So, Ambassador Joshua, what do you think about the cultural sensitivity, capacity building, and innovation and experimentation at the local level due to this autonomy?
Thank you, Janet. Like we said before, local government are close to the people. It's the tier of government that is close to the people. So they know their people very well. They know their cultural activities. There are some of the things that are attuned to a particular culture and they know it. Okay, they know what they should do and what they should not do. So in this kind of situation, once the local government is in place and is functional, they know that even in a particular local government, we have different clans, we have different, sometimes some local government have different tribes even. Do you understand? So they will be able to manage this sensitive cultural, uh, affinities. So it's going to be it's an opportunity for the local government to position itself well to handle some of the situation that used to cause conflict. And then apart from that, we talk about the issue of capacity building. Yes, local government will have the opportunity. Now they have the finances, right? So they will embark on training activities that will empower them to take decisions that affect their people. So both the executives, the legislatures, the because we know people that normally contest for local government or for local government consulship, their education is not always so sound. So, but they have the opportunity now that they can go on trainings, capacity trainings, so that they can be able to, even bring legislation that can affect their local communities positively. So, capacity building is also going to be one of the things that we're going to look at. And then even the issue of training, we as an institution, we are available to partner with any local government that want us to come and help to train their officials in terms of conflict prevention, conflict resolution, negotiation, mediation, and whatever activities that has to do with conflict resolution and also security. So we are much available. So if any local government want to collaborate with us on capacity building activities, we are much available and we're willing to partner with them as well. So we will bring professionalism and make sure that it's impacted the local government officials so that they can be able to discharge their functions very well. And then talking about innovation, yes, we have young people who are innovative and creative, and they need some form of empowerment. So now that the state government, the local government also have their own autonomy and their financial autonomy, they can organize some kind of empowerment programs that will empower the young people who are creative and innovative to bring out their creativity and then be useful to the society as well. So it's going to be we are going to experience a whole lot of activities going on at that level. We pray and hope that they will not misuse this opportunity. Anyone that is being elected to be there, they will not misuse this opportunity, but they will embrace it and demonstrate to everyone to know that yes, what they were asking for was not in vain. They were serious and they want to do something good. So for me, we are set for something good.
Thank you, Ambassador. We'll be looking right away into the comment section. We have a few comments here we'll be taking. We have a comment from Mr. Lucky, and he says, I am enjoying the discussion, which is very clear. Thank you. Yes, the local governments will be able to handle some major problems like security. Thank you, Mr. Lucky, for that contribution. We also have one from Mr. Daniel, and he says, they recognize traditional rulers should be involved in some decision making. I am of the opinion that they are either aware of or involved in most forms of conflict or chaos within their wards and local government. In summary, this autonomy is a step in the right direction towards its full autonomy. So, Ambassador Joshua, what can you say about what Mr. Daniel is proposing?
And yes, we have been, just like we say that the local government should be given autonomy, and today we have it. Do you understand? We are also saying that the traditional rulers should also have a constitutional backing. But if you can look at what is happening at the state levels now, the state government appoints the traditional rulers. Okay, that's why we have commissioner. We have a local government, a commission called the Local Government and Chieftaincy Affairs. Okay, so this we have a commissioner who's in charge of that commission. So, but the question now is that the issue now, there's a problem with this. And take, for instance, what is happening in Kano State right now. Okay, so I think that the constitution should make provision that covers that empowers the traditional rulers, so that if the traditional rulers are not appointed by the state government, I think they can be able to exercise certain control in their localities. Do you understand? But sometimes, if a case involves the politicians, some of these traditional rulers, they will not be able to say anything. Most especially the state governors, they will not be able to say anything. They cannot even call their politicians to order. Once they call them to order, they become a target that they must be removed. Do you understand? And that's what happened to Sanusi when he was the emir of Kano. What happened? Because he said government was taking decisions that were not correct. It was enough for him to be removed, and then the whole of the emirate was balkanized. Do you understand? And now they are trying to correct that, and now it's becoming a problem in that place. So this is the issue. And maybe now, let me tell you that if care is not taken on, if another governor comes that is also maybe is in line with the other one now, the other one now, it will become another problem. You have to still, So this thing, I think the constitution, the Nigerian constitution, should give the traditional rulers a backing, an empowerment that the state government may not necessarily have a control over that institution completely. But the way it is now, the state government, just like the local government that we're talking about here now, they abuse that institution as well. So much so that the traditional rulers are so helpless, because one, the state government are the one paying them. Do you understand? In those days, the people used to pay their kings, and so their kings used to be powerful. But nowadays, their kings are as they are not powerful again, because one politician somewhere is controlling them. So they cannot say anything. They cannot question them. If the governor is doing something that is wrong, the traditional ruler cannot question it. Why? Because they have no power whatsoever. So, but I think that maybe the Tinubu administration really means so good for us. Let's forget about the fuel subsidy removal that people are suffering and the other economic difficulties. Maybe they have good intentions for the country. Do you understand? This judgment gives me hope. Do you understand? It gives me hope that, yes, to some extent, this government have us in mind. And I believe that maybe this issue of traditional rulers also will be given attention. Do you understand? So that the traditional rulers will also have a constitutional backing and empowerment, whereby they will not be totally in control. They will not totally be controlled by the state government, because the state government appointed them, paid them, and then as a result, they just whatever they want to do and say, they say. The traditional ruler cannot control. They cannot call the state governor, who's supposed to be a subject, his own subject, to order. Do you understand? How can the state governor now appoint the traditional ruler and then become a subject to that person again? How possible is that? So me, for one, I feel that the federal government, the federal constitution should be able to give these state government, traditional rulers an empowerment. and remove them from the hands of the state government so that they can also be able to, on their own, as fathers, call these state governors to order when they are going out of control. And even we have even traditional rulers at the local government level as well. Let them also be empowered so that they can call the local government chairman to order as well when they are going wrong. Local government chairman, what you are doing is not correct. Do you understand? I remember a case in my place where one traditional ruler was asking, asking for something, and so they did not give him, and so he became so mad. Okay, so these are the issues. So, but they should also be having some form of control over some of these elected, because they are fathers. So if they call their subject to order, it doesn't matter whether you are the chairman or you are the governor or whether you are the president. So far as this person is regarded as a ruler over you, then you should be able to have some form of respect towards him. You understand? But the way it is now, they go and misbehave there. If for instance now, if the emir call one governor to order now, you see, it's enough reason why he should be removed. So it's enough reason why that emir will not receive allowance again, or whatever pay they used to pay them. So for me, what Mr. Manjo is saying is that the best way traditional rulers can be involved is when they are empowered. Now that they are not empowered, what would they do? All these politicians that doesn't listen to anybody, would they go and listen to someone that is not empowered? So if the traditional rulers are not also receiving payment from the state government or from the local government, then they can tell them something. Do you understand? They can call them to order. So they should also be empowered, just like the local government have been empowered today. And this is another area that we are also clamoring for. And I know that maybe Tinubu has started. Maybe they will look into this matter as well. And gradually we'll deal with some of these issues that have been so controversial over the years.
Thank you very much, Ambassador Joshua, and thank you, Mr. Daniel, for that beautiful contribution. I'm still talking about the impact of the local government autonomy on peace building in Nigeria. We can also see, it's the positive effect on citizens' engagement and trust. The increased autonomy can strengthen citizens' engagement and also trust in the local government institution when communities feel empowered to participate in the decision-making process. This process can actually hold their local officials accountable. Talking about accountability and transparency, I think for this autonomy to be easy, just like you said earlier, that it will be easy to pinpoint and know where funds are going to at the local level, and it will also help build trust in government structures and enhance the legitimacy of peace building efforts. Another important way we can see this effect is in the bottom-up development. Local government autonomy can facilitate bottom-up development by allowing communities to prioritize their own development needs and also allocate funds or resources to this need. So as we move into concluding on today's episode, we can see that the autonomy given to the local government is actually a good step, and this autonomy can be leveraged on to create positive impact on stakeholders in Nigeria, can also help to enhance the potential of the local government structures to strengthen peace building efforts and also promote sustainable peace and development across the country. So Ambassador Joshua, as we conclude on today's episode, what are your final words concerning the autonomy of the local government as ruled by the Supreme Court in Nigeria?
Yes, Janet, thank you very much. The truth of the matter is that the autonomy is long overdue. And thank God we have it today. All right. Now we want to appeal for anybody that is going into that arm of the government. If we are given opportunity, justify the confidence that people are going to put in you, and justify the confidence that the Attorney General of the Federation and the Tinubu administration has given you the opportunity to have independence, to have freedom. The freedom is not to abuse it, it's not to misuse it, but this freedom is for you to prove a point. Yes, there is a need for you to prove a point, because the argument was that you had this opportunity before and you abused it. So there's no need to give you this opportunity, even though others are abusing their own opportunity. The state governors are abusing their own opportunity. The presidents are abusing also their own opportunity. Does not mean that you should go there again and begin to abuse this opportunity because you have been given. And if you have been given, it's possible that it will be taken from you. Do you understand? So what is given to you, it means that you don't have control over. So it's possible that they can still take it in one way or the other. So it's for you to now justify the confidence the federal government and the Attorney General has, you know, placing you, because they felt that something is going wrong and something correct should be done. And they felt that they heard your cries. You have been crying that, oh, you have been subjugated by the state government. Now you need your freedom so that you can be able to operate, have access to finance and do projects that will impact your community. Now you have been given the opportunity. Please and please, if you go there as a local government chairman, as a secretary, as whatever position you occupy, director of general services, please provide the services and provide the quality representation to the people. That's what they are all yearning for. And that's why people were clamoring for. Now you have the opportunity. But you go and abuse it, we will still hold you accountable somehow. Because I know that the constitution that provided for a joint account, there's going to be amendment. And the amendment will come with some certain measures for you to be checkmated. So we're going to checkmate you. Apart from the legislatures that we have there to checkmate you, we'll also put other measures in place to checkmate you. The EFCC will be up and doing to make sure that they also checkmate you. Do you understand? So it's left for you to decide and do the right thing. Show integrity in your governance attitude. And then be accountable to the people. Let the people know that, yes, you are not above them. You are just one among equals. You are just privileged to be in a position today, that tomorrow you will not be there. And because you are in the position today does not mean that you should go and accumulate wealth. It's for you to make sure that the wealth is equitably distributed and everybody have access to it and live a quality life. Thank you.
Beautiful. Thank you, Ambassador Joshua Taule, for that conclusion. So, to our viewers, we appreciate you for joining us on today's episode of the Peace Clinic. Today, we looked at the local government autonomy and its impact on peace building efforts in Nigeria. Once again, the Peace Clinic is brought to you by the Institute of Global Peace and Conflict Management. To know more about us, you can do well to visit our website on www.igpcm.com.ng, or do well to contact us via email at igpcminfo@gmail.com. You can reach out to us through a call on +234 703 345 8730 or +234 4156 9400. You can do well to follow us on all our social media handles. We are on YouTube, we are on Facebook, and we are on LinkedIn as Institute of Global Peace and Conflict Management. You can do well to also check us out on Instagram, on Twitter, and also on TikTok at IGPCM. So once again, we appreciate you for joining us, and thank you, Ambassador Joshua Taule, for being with us on today's episode.
Thank you, Janet. It was a pleasure, and I'm happy to be here. Thank you.
Thank you, Ambassador. So once again, to our viewers, thank you for joining us as we come to an end on today's episode. So we would love to see you tomorrow for another episode of the Peace Clinic. So thank you and see you tomorrow.